10 coding habits that make you a bad programmer. This is an article by Mr. Liang. Let's see how many I can hit. I'm afraid I may be gonna hit more than I think. But let's take a look. Computer programming is crucial in today's automated world. It makes it possible for people to interact with machines more efficiently and accurately. Computer programmers use a variety of computer languages that create codes that make it possible for computer applications to work effectively. Yep. Programmers need to develop habits that enhance their productivity. Unfortunately, some of them create habits that affect their output. They work for many hours, fail to seek ideas from other experts, or copy their work of other developers. If you want to excel in the coding sector, you must avoid these 10 negative coding habits. And again, the same thing that I said in another video, that I don't think this is like true only for programming. So far it's very generic. This is true for everything. If you want to excel in something, you need to seek advice from people who are more proficient than you. That's like kind of true. Okay, so let's move on. First, trying to master all languages. Oh god. It's not bad to master multiple programming languages in your work. It helps you become better experienced in coding. The only challenge is that there are many computer languages used by developers. It is harder to learn all of them, and you might end up becoming a master of none. Good programmers focus on one language and learn it in detail. After that, you can think about a second or third language. You become more productive and begin creating some of the strongest codes. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. But then again, which language? Which language? It depends. What do you want to do? If you want to create like web pages, then there's not a lot you can choose from. Given that there are like some JavaScript environments or whatever, these libraries, but that I wouldn't consider programming languages. So I don't know. Maybe choose like a more challenging language, maybe like C++ or C or something like that. That's a real language. That's challenging, but I don't know. It's kind of iffy, but okay. Is it true to me? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a master in any language, so I don't know. I haven't tried to learn a lot. Consistently working for many hours. Overworking results in productivity decrease, and you should avoid at all costs. The main outcome is burnout, which can have other serious implications. You become physically and mentally exhausted, and the number of mistakes that you make increases. Your stress levels keep growing, and soon your body begins to feel sick. The use of a slow-working computer often leads to the need for overtime work. To avoid this, try to optimize your workspace and device. Good idea is to check if you have enough disk space. What? And the coding software to check this post. What? So your stress level goes up, but your body begins feeling sick, and so does your computer? I don't think there's... If you're working a lot, then that may mean that you have very organized computer. That I don't think there's a connection there. But then again, it's true that if you work a lot, eventually you might get exhausted from it. But not everyone. Again, I know people who can work like horses and they're not exhausted, never, ever. So yeah, that's individual. Generally, it's probably better to have breaks. If your computer feels sick, just free up some space. What bad can happen? Just reinstall Windows. Take some time. Take a break. Reinstall Windows. Maybe install Linux. Who knows? Oh God. Oh my God. Working alone all the time. Is this true to me? Kinda, yeah. I work a lot, but I work something and then work something else. I try to make like a variety. I'm a variety worker. That's kind of helps. Okay. Working alone all the time. The moment you start getting into the tech field, you will realize cooperation is something you cannot escape. It's okay to lock yourself in a room or focus on developing a demanding program. However, you will still need to come out at some point and reach out to other developers. They could be your teammates within the company or other like-minded developers in the coding field. The bottom line is not to give them your code structure, but get inspiration from them to improve your work. Why? Why not give them your code structure? What are you afraid of, man? They are not gonna steal it, do they? I work alone, so this is true, but you don't have to have a face-to-face connection with someone to learn new things. There are videos, there's Stack Overflow, there's, I don't know, you can ask questions wherever you want. You can have a conversation, and this is the greatest thing that we evolved to, that we don't need a face-to-face connection to work in programming. You know, this is what we wanted. This is what we always wanted, right? So I don't know. I would gladly give them my code if they can like work it out. You know, maybe they can improve it somehow. I don't know what to think of it. Working alone all the time, yeah, not so good, but I mean, not for the reasons he listed. Copying other developers' work. What? Who does that? I don't know. I never did that. Developers should always focus on creating original codes and applications. Copying is a serious offense that could lead to code battles. To ensure your code are original, take these measures. Get inspired by another developer code, but use the inspiration to create your original. Avoid copying and pasting codes when developing programs. Spend 80% of your time developing and only 20% coding. Use the code plagiarism checking to know if the code is original. Dude, if the code is open source, for example, or you found an answer in a Stack Overflow thread or whatever, and you copy paste it and you review it and you test it, I don't know. That to me is still programming, you know, because even though you didn't write the code, you can rewrite it, you can retest it. Sometimes it's just faster, sometimes it's just better. Sometimes you don't want to make something that you did before and you just can't find where you put it. You used it in some project, but you just, for the love of God, you can't find where it is. So you just Google it and then, oh, there it is, no problem, here it is. I just yoink it, rework it, you know, but not that I wouldn't start from scratch. What for? The code is right there. Just rework it a bit, make it maybe better if you can, or whatever. Rework it for your needs. If it's there, why not use it? Why do you want to reinvent the wheel? There's no point. Rushing to meet the deadlines. Code development takes time, and this is something that every developer should know. You might be serving a client who wants everything done on a short notice. If you're doing a coding assignment, you might find yourself rushing because you lack time. There is a way to develop coding discipline to escape rushing. Every time you get a coding project, give yourself enough time. You know, I don't think anyone wants to rush a code project. Everyone wants to give enough time, but you know that there's this issue that sometimes you just miscalculate and whoopsie, there's the problem. Do not wait until the deadline approaches to begin coding. I don't know about that. I know some folk who can do it better in one day than doing it for 2 weeks. They lack the motivation to start, but when their Giga Chad mind just focuses, they just do it in one sitting. I don't know. I'm not that kind, but this advice doesn't apply to everyone. Keep communicating with your client on the progress. I don't know if I want to do that, to be honest with you. I mean, if he asks, I will tell them, yeah, it's gonna take a little more time, although I'm not really doing such work. You know, when you start like communicating with the client, they will start thinking and they will start asking questions, and they will start asking if you can add this and that into the code. And you know, you don't want that. When you have your specifications, you don't really want to change it. So I would just leave the client alone. Don't trigger them. It's okay. If they're silent, it's okay. Just don't do that. Just leave them alone. If you feel coding will take 2 weeks, add 1 more week as an allowance. I mean, okay, that I can stand behind that. So rushing to meet deadlines. I'm definitely not the one to rush. So I don't know. This is not true for me. Allowing emotions during coding. What's wrong with emotions, dude? I strongly believe these articles are to trigger me. What's wrong? Unless you're doing for, like, I don't know, an ACG or whatever, this is like not the end of the world. Sometimes you're angry. You're a human being, man. Who cares? You just push through. You're not a brain surgeon, so who cares? You should never allow yourself to led by emotions whenever you begin coding. Alright, I will just push them back, right? Emotions lead to hasty decisions that leave you with a poorly designed application. Focus all your thoughts on the program you are developing, but keep your heart away from it. See, you just push it back. Very, very nice advice. Thank you, man. Refuse to be controlled by feeling, but only focus on where your thoughts are leading you. Wow, fantastic. Just don't feel. Don't feel. please. Stop feeling and code. Alright, sir, right at it. Being overconfident about your code. I mean, everyone does that. It's good to develop confidence in your work to help you drive away any doubts that tell you that you cannot make it. Confidence has a maximum level, and when it exceeds it, you become overconfident. This results in ego, which is often an obstacle to your productivity. No matter how confident you are, with your code, agree to be corrected or gather ideas from other developers. Yep, okay, this is what I can agree with. Okay, but then again, you need to have at least some confidence, you know. Without that, what do you want to do? Nothing. So don't be overconfident, but be confident. Very good advice. Procrastination. You cannot become productive in coding if you're always postponing your project. Technology in the digital world keeps changing all the time. When you're stuck in the same code for many days, you get overtaken by time and release a program that doesn't meet the current needs. Your customer will get impatient with you and begin sourcing for another reliable coder. If you're stuck with a code for days, and not because of procrastination, because you just don't want to do it, yeah, that's a bad thing. You shouldn't be doing that. But coding is this strange thing, you know, you're sitting at your computer and YouTube is right there. You just click and I'm just gonna watch this aviation video clip, you know, and then I'm gonna watch Asmongold for a minute, and then what's that? And boom, it's night. There you go. I'm gonna do it the next day, and the next day you rinse and repeat. Okay, so I can feel that it's a pain. So don't procrastinate. Don't just start it and it will go. Don't worry. If you start, it goes. It's already start. It's only hard to start. The rest is okay. You give up too soon and fail to ask for help. Oh God, no programmer can excel without connecting with another programmer. I don't know. I don't think so. I think there are some exceptional human beings who can, like, maybe we are the ones who dragging them down. Maybe if we left them alone, we would be having flying cars right now. So I don't know. They help you get fresh ideas that inspire you on the next level of action. The problem with refusing to ask for help is that you give up too soon. Productive coders have developed a higher level of resilience that helps them try hundreds of times until they get their codes right. Okay, so you should be trying. Using codes that you don't understand. I can completely agree with this one. I remember this video where I reviewed an article where React had an issue with they imported some sort of function which was like checking if a value was an integer or whatever. So like, I mean, you can write that, you know, you don't need to like just copy that. You can write that or like integrate. And if you just use everything that you come across, that's not good. You should always review what you're going to use. You should always review. Don't just use it, review it. And if you're using libraries, use the ones that are very trustworthy and use as little as you can. Don't use like for one-liners libraries. You don't need libraries for one-liners oftentimes. I mean, the aim is to first understand how the code should work and then use it. If you use codes that you cannot explain how they work, your client will think you copied them. What? What does it have to do with your client? If the client knows what that is, he will do it for himself, right? What do you mean? Does my client will look at my code? Oh my God, it's not about the client, man. Oh God, it's triggering me, this crap. Dude, it's not about the client, it's about you. You don't use a code you don't really understand unless it's very trustworthy because of errors, because of issues, not because your client will look at it and you're gonna feel bad. Who cares? The client wouldn't understand a single word of the code, best case scenario. So he wouldn't care what do you put in there. Works, he wouldn't care what the code is. Who cares? Oh my God, you're triggering me, dude. No developer learns everything in a single day. Everything is learned progressively. But you must develop a discipline of good coder. Okay, I'm not reading it anymore. Whoop! What an interesting article. I can agree with some points, of course, but there's just too much issue with the clients. I mean, you want to talk to the client? Why? Don't talk to the client. Don't. You're just triggering it. You trigger the client. He's gonna ask questions and ask if he can do that, this or that. No. Shut up. Don't. Just shush. Don't talk to the client. And then again, what the client is gonna think? What your mom is gonna think about your code? Nothing. He doesn't care about your code. Nobody cares. It's your problem, not your clients. Well then, this is, I think, the end of the video. Thank God this article has ended. Leave a like, leave a like, leave a like, and subscribe. And then you can leave a comment in the comment section below. I will read it, I will answer, I will like, I will whatever. And I see you in the next one. Have a nice one. Bye bye.